Hi class. As promised, we will be jumping into the strong interest inventory. I really want to emphasize, please complete your assessments for full credit by tomorrow. That's the Myers-Briggs and the strong interest inventory. So those are due by midnight on November 22nd, okay? So as promised, we'll jump into the strong interest inventory. It was developed by E.K. Strong, a Stanford professor in the 20s and 30s, and Strong was one of the first folks to really come up with the concept that people should pursue careers based on their interests and liking it, right? So Strong developed these occupational scales which are at the foundation of the strong interest inventory assessment. So a little background on the strong, it measures interests, right? That's the key thing to remember, that it measures interests, and one's interest is a great predictor of motivation and career satisfaction. So the concept of doing work that you enjoy, right? It also makes two comparisons of how interested are you and how similar are you to folks with those interests, right? So how much and how similar, and then it uses Holland codes, right? So just a quick reminder from our lecture on career theory is these are Holland's hexagons, and later in the lecture I'll talk about that most of us fall into a category of 2 to 3 of these, and for myself it's social, enterprising, and artistic, for example. But again, these are things that you'll find in terms of your strong results. So you might be, for example, an ECR, for example. But again, here's a just quick reminder of Holland's hexagon. Some assumptions of the strong interest inventory is that, again, interest is a great predictor of career satisfaction, right? Again, we could be really skilled in something but not be motivated or interested in it, right? So folks should pursue work that they enjoy. And Strong's theory believes that if you enjoy something, that you can be motivated enough to pursue the education and training and be able to prepare and learn anything to prepare for a job, right? So if you have enough interest in it, you're going to be willing to put in the work and education to get that job and stay in that job. So the results you get next week, which I'll email you if you're able to complete the assessments by the 22nd, the results are organized this way: in general occupational themes, basic interest scales, occupational scales, personal style scales, and then there's an overall summary and then a summary for your responses. So it's really important to note that. So we'll start with general occupational themes. It measures 6 broad interest areas used for work personality. And as I mentioned, again, most of us have 2 to 3 themes that we're reflected by. Again, mine is SEA, right? So it will measure your level of interest. Next section, basic interest scales, is that work activities, coursework, projects, that motivate you and are rewarding, and again it uses those general occupational themes. Occupational scales compares your likes and dislikes to folks with similar interests working in various occupations, right? So the folks that you're compared to are folks who have satisfaction in their work and similar interests. So it looks at compatibility for professions. The personal style scale is looking at what environment works best for you. So that's work style, learning style, leadership, working in teams, your willingness to take risks. And then the profile summary is an overview and snapshot of your profile results. So I really kind of look at that as a quick reference guide. The response summary summarizes your responses in each section of the strong. So with that said, I think it's really important that if you have an opportunity to make an appointment with Rose Negrete or myself for career counseling to interpret your results of the strong interest inventory and the Myers-Briggs type indicator. So our emails are listed here. So you can definitely contact us for an appointment, and hopefully that can be helpful in guiding you. The other thing is that, again, this is an assessment, right? So it's not perfect, but our hope is that we can use assessments as a tool to make a decision, right? So there are a lot of factors and variables that we can look at holistically to make an informed decision, right, in terms of career and major choice. So some of that might be through the coursework you take. It might be through some work experience that you have. It might be through assessment results as well. So just kind of taking all of those things and making an informed decision. So it'll be really interesting. One thing I really like doing with students is having them kind of predict what they think their strong results will be, and then comparing it and then reflecting on what they think in comparison once they get their results. All right, some resources that are out there for you that can be really helpful. We've kind of talked about this during the career theory section with Dick Bowles, but there is a 2020 edition, the late Dick Bowles, but they've revised his book, What Color is Your Parachute, the 2020 edition. So you can definitely find that in your local library if you like. Also, what you'll see in these assessments, both the Myers-Briggs and the Strong, are some occupations and jobs and careers that may be of interest based on your interest and personality and preferences, right? So you may not be as aware of what those are about, and you might want to learn more. You also might want to know about the job outlook and the pay for those things. So the Occupational Outlook Handbook as well as ONET are really terrific resources to kind of complement learning more about your results and taking those into action. And certainly we can also do that with you in a career counseling meeting. So again, look at it as a starting point and tool for exploration for you. It can also confirm if you already have your major or career path in mind. It may solidify that for you. So again, it's just a really good tool for you to look at. But again, it is an assessment. It's not necessarily perfect. So would love to hear your thoughts on how accurate you feel it is. Okay, so to wrap up, to let you know, Strong is designed to help you find satisfaction in work and school. And it does that by measuring interests, and it also compares your interests with folks with similar interests who have found satisfactions in their careers. Again, we're using it as a framework for you for major and career exploration. And again, it's one of those tools that I think is great because it's about what you are interested in, and that could be a good starting point for you in finding your major and career. So look forward to connecting with you on Canvas. I do want you to be aware that the information that we're covering, it's going to be on the midterm, so be prepared for that, and also be ready because we will have a quiz coming before Thanksgiving, so be sure to review the last few lectures as well as some of the websites and videos that we've taken a look at. Take care.